Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. And today I've got some CDs to show you. First up, it's a various artists compilation called The Skinhead Generation. 5446 was my number. I got this for £1 from my local charity shop, and it's one of a series of soundtrack CDs that were issued to accompany a TV program made quite a few years ago now for London Weekend Television, and it was called Sounds of Underground London. And it's an excellent introduction to the ska and rock steady sounds of the Trojan label. And I'll just show you the track list on the back. It's only let down by the liner notes by Eddie Pillar, which focus far too much on the skinhead fashion, and there's hardly a mention of the music. But as I say, it's a great selection of songs. Next up, this is put out by Ace, and it's a bringing together of their first two albums, self-titled album and The Fabulous Style of the Everly Brothers. I suggest listening to Don Everly's song on here called Since You Broke My Heart, and just remember what a wonderful, wonderful duo they were. Just fantastic. Next, also on Ace, and I got this for £1. Hickory Dickory Dock, Etta James, from my local charity shop. It focuses on Etta James's less well-known pre-Chess recordings when she ruled the roost at the Modern and Kent labels. She was still a teenager at the time, and her powerful voice meant that she quite often recorded songs like a female Little Richard, and some of the songs, some written by her, are full of outrageously funny and rude double entendres, and it's an excellent album. And next up we've got a compilation by the Inspiral Carpets, the singles. What I like about this band is that they managed to keep their distance from the emerging Manchester scene, and eventually signed to the Mute label based in London, and also they kept true to their garage rock roots, so they always had that fabulous Farfisa organ that reminded me of a bit of the Sir Douglas Quintet, and I particularly rate the singles from the third album, their third album, Revenge of the Goldfish, namely Generations and Bitches Brew. And I've never actually heard Revenge of the Goldfish, so I'm on the lookout to buy that album now. And that's the tracks that you get. Next up, Ciccone Youth, I think that's how you pronounce it, the Whitey album. This is a real mess of an album. It's Sonic Youth at their most self-indulgent, mainly improvising in the studio, with some guest musicians on there. I think Mike Watt's on there on some of the tracks, and Jay Mascis from Dinosaur Jr. as well. It's pretty bad when the best track on the album is a track called Silence, which is basically 1 minute of silence. I'm being slightly cruel here because I do love Sonic Youth, and there is the makings of quite a decent album, really. There's a couple of tracks that I particularly like on this album. Macbeth, which is it's got a Noi-like beat with guitar feedback, and also Burning Up, which sounds like it's influenced by Can. And next, The Shadows, live at the BBC, and these are BBC sessions that were recorded mainly in the 60s for the radio show Saturday Club, and there's also a slightly incongruous John Peel session from 1973, but of course John Peel, like everybody of a certain age in the UK that was into music, loved the Shadows in the late 50s. The sound quality, considering it's come from BBC tapes from the 60s, is surprisingly good. The album's only really let down by poor packaging, but this was in fact a budget release, and you used to see it in supermarkets in their CD selection quite often. Next, it's the Best of Larry Graham and Graham Central Station, Volume 1. Larry Graham was the bassist for a number of years in Sly and the Family Stone, and then in the 70s he developed Sly's sound, making it funkier and brassier with his own band, Graham Central Station. The songs such as Can You Handle It are little more than grooves, and don't really compare with the work that he did with Sly and the Family Stone. And next we have Blind, Willie Johnson, Dark Was the Night. This was a 20p purchase, and it's music to just really stop you in your tracks. His slide guitar playing combined with his gut-wrenching vocals, often on gospel songs, just send shivers down my spine. And he stands, in my opinion, at the very pinnacle of blues music. It includes the track Dark Was the Night, which can even make me cry. It was included on the gold disc that was sent into deepest space on the Voyager spacecraft. And Ry Cooder said of that track, it's the most transcendent piece in all American music. And there's details of the track listing on the back. And some more music that can make me cry. Davy Spillane and the album Pipe Dreams, and I got this for 20p as well. The track Midnight Walker is just achingly beautiful, and he's another masterful musician, in this case drawing out emotions to touch your very soul from the Irish pipes, the Julian pipes. Right, let's have a bit more uplifting, fun music. And it's a various artists compilation which I picked up for £1, and it's called Songs the Bonzo Dog Band Taught Us. And the Bonzo Dog Band's love of old 78s, of novelty jazz and British dance band curios resulted in some very silly and surreal covers in the 1960s. And it's an absolute joy to hear original versions of songs I've loved by the Bonzo Dog Band, such as Jollity Farm, Mickey's Son and Daughter, Alibaba's Camel, Hunting Tigers Out in India, and My Brother Makes the Noises for the Talkies. And this was a great buy for £1, brand new sealed. It's the Nitty Gritty Band and Will the Circle Be Unbroken, and it's a landmark album in country music which united the country pioneers with the new generation of long-haired country hippies, and it's of real historic importance. And amongst the legendary performers are the wonderful Mother Maybelle Carter, who plays some auto harp and sings. You also got Earl Scruggs, Doc Watson, Roy Acuff, Merle Travis, and the bluegrass musician Jimmy Martin. And next we've got a 4-CD box set that was put out by the Proper label, and this was £1 sealed. And it's also got a 24-page booklet. Includes 2 CDs of Howling Wolf tracks. Then there's a disc of artists that were influenced by him. So you've got names such as Sonny Boy Williamson, Charley Patton, Elmore James, Skip James, and some names that I'm not aware of. And also there's a DVD of musicians talking about his influence as well. I'll just show you the back of that. Right. And moving on, another Ace CD. I've got this one for £1 as well. Time Is on My Side, Irma Thomas. These are 24 classic recordings from the mid-60s, when the soul queen of New Orleans really just ruled supreme. And these are tracks taken from the Imperial and the Minute labels. and her vocal tone on the track "It's Raining" is just so perfect. And if that's picking up okay, there's a bit of glare today. That's what you get. And next, double CD that I got for 50p, various artists compilation, and it's called Handpicked 25 Years of Bluegrass on Rounder Records. Famous names included on this CD package include David Grisman, the recently passed Byron Berlin, Alison Krauss, J.D. Crowe, Del McCoury, and Ricky Skaggs. And there's also detailed liner notes on each of the tracks included, just to add to the pleasure. And that's what you get on the CD. And next, this is a fantastic buy. I got this for 50p, brand new, sealed. Martin Green, Crow's Bones. And it's a solo album by the accordionist from the band Lau, who I've mentioned a couple of times in previous videos. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Lau live next year. This album is unique. It defies categorization. It's a deeply creepy set of songs about ghosts. And there's impeccable accompaniment from Nicholas Roswell, who plays a Swedish instrument which I'd not heard of before, called a nickel harper, and also folk singers Becky Unthank from the Unthanks, of course, and Inga Thompson, who I think comes from Orkney or one of the Scottish islands. Co-producer Adrian Utley from Portishead really ratchets up the spookiness as well, and it's highly recommended. If you like Nick Cave and the Handsome Family, for example, I'm sure you'd absolutely love this album. And it's another modern classic to come from the Lau stable. And next, we've got some jazz. It's Duke Ellington, the Afro-Eurasian Eclipse, a suite in 8 parts. This was recorded in 1971, and Duke Ellington died in 74, and it was finally released in 1975. It's a beautifully arranged album, full of harmonic twists and turns, and the music's inspired by Duke Ellington's trips to places in Africa, Japan and Australia. This is a good digital remaster from 1991, and his piano flourishes are just as perfect as always. And Miles Davis said of Duke Ellington, someday all the jazz musicians should get together in one place and go down on their knees and thank Duke. And that's the details on the back. Okay, that's it for today, and I will see you again very soon. Take care.